Outnumbered. Outclassed is more like it.
Welcome back to the channel. I'm your host Newman, and today we're going to be unboxing Evil-Lyn from Mondo Toys. This 1/6 scale figure measures 11.5 inches in height. It's made of PVC, ABS, fabric, and faux fur. It weighs 5 pounds, contains multiple points of articulation, and comes with over a dozen accessories. Now before we get to the unboxing, it would greatly be appreciated if you were to like this video if you do indeed like it, and subscribe. That way you'll never miss a future unboxing. So I happened to purchase this directly from Mondo itself. It was a timed release. I think at some point they'll probably release a stripped down version. It's what they usually do. I mean, this is just speculation on my part. We have a wonderful illustration of Evil-Lyn by cover artist Florian Bertmer. He's been doing all of the Masters of the Universe releases from Mondo. Apologies if I mispronounced his name. He's a little Art Adams, he's a little Mobius, but really he has his own wonderful distinctive style. In case you want to stock this on your shelf library style, the box has the name of the figure, as well as the logos for Mondo and Masters of the Universe. The back of the package has a nice bio for Evil-Lyn, in case you don't know who this character is, and towards the bottom it has all the wonderful artists that worked on this figure. Lastly, before we open up, the box is equipped with a gatefold cover with magnets on it, leading to an awesome window view, reminiscent of your 80s action figures. And to the left is a wonderful photograph by Raul Barrero. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Let's go ahead and get this thing opened up. Alright, now that we have her out of the package, let's take a look at this fantastic looking figure. And it's no surprise that it looks fantastic. Mondo does incredibly detailed, incredibly good looking work. It always looks fantastic. It's always just kind of in the function that it falls a little short. But we'll see about that in a little bit. Let's first gaze upon this beautiful looking figure. The paint is excellent. The sculpt is excellent. I really like the design of it. It looks fantastic. It looks like the ultimate version of Evil-Lyn. But we'll go over that in just a little bit. First, we're going to go over the articulation. So the head is obviously on a ball joint, goes all the way around. There's a little bit of a tilt in there. You can't really look up very well. It's all good though. Arms go up to about yay high. Looks like they are on a hinge, and there's also a twist in the deltoid. We have single joints in the elbows. They're both good. There is a ball joint on the wrist. The range of movement is pretty good for both hands. Yeah, no issues there. Next up, we've got an ab crunch and twist. It seems fairly decent. It seems tight. Seems very tight. Okay, yeah, there's a fairly good range of movement in that ab crunch. It's not spectacular, but it's pretty decent. There's no waist twist that I see. If there is, it's very tight. Legs, they really don't go out very far. It looks like you have to actually angle them. So they do move up in sort of like a sitting position. This looks fairly pornographic. I'm sorry. I might have to put a censor on this. There are double joints in the knees, which are both nice and tight. You can't quite get the legs completely flush with the thighs because it looks like the boots are a little too thick for that. There's not technically a boot cut, but there is a twist at the calves. The right ankle is fairly tight, but the left is kind of loose. So the articulation is pretty decent. I say it's a lot better than the Tila Mondo figure that I reviewed, but it's not the best in articulation of all the Mondo toys I reviewed. I'd say it's fair. It's pretty decent. It doesn't make me angry. Let's go ahead and move on to the accessories. So we have an effects hand with some magic spirals in it. The sculpt is good. The effects look pretty good. Yeah, I do like this. Next up, we have her magic scepter, the shorter version of it. This looks fantastic. The sculpt is A1. Paint application is fantastic. I really like the crystal orb in it. Man, this looks really good. Fantastic work. Here we have the longer version of the scepter. It's slightly larger, not just in length, but also the orb and the claw hand itself. Looks really good, and it looks like the wash for the scepter is actually purple as opposed to the gray for the shorter version of it. Here is a dagger. Looks pretty gnarly. Looks really good. Looks slightly organic. So yeah, I really like the look of that. Next up, we have the shaping staff. This looks really good. The sculpt is fantastic on this. It looks a little South American. I've always enjoyed it when Masters of the Universe would blend cultures for their fantasy aesthetic. There's also a wash on this, so it's not just a single paint application. It looks nice. Next, we have a unhelmeted head portrait. Looks very Filmation-esque with the short hair. Looks really good. It looks like the hair itself is a separate sculpt. I don't know about that hairline. It looks a little artificial. But I mean, this whole thing is artificial, so what can you do? Next up, we have a screaming portrait. This looks fantastic. The paint application is good, just like the rest. Yeah, it's pretty good facial expression as well. And the last portrait is probably my favorite, the evil smile face. This looks really good. Yeah, I think this is going to be my go-to for when I display it on my shelf. Moving on to the minifigure that comes with this fantastic Mondo release, we've got Screech. This looks really good. The paint application is fantastic. The sculpt is amazing. This looks really good. It looks like the legs are actually articulated, so I should be able to move those. Yep, it looks like it's just up and down. It's not three-dimensional, but still, it's pretty good. It doesn't look like any of the pieces are detachable, so I don't want to force anything off. Looks like the only thing that would be detachable would be the wings, and here are the pegs for the wings. I guess if you're getting a little weird, you could put some other things on those pegs. Here is the I guess the loincloth. Looks like a tie. Looks like an Eternian tie for a big baby. But yeah, I'm glad that it's looks like the pieces aren't attached, so I don't have to detach her torso in order to get that on. That was a big issue I had with the Teela figure. Here's the perch for Screech. This looks, I'm going to be honest, it looks a little cheap until you get to the base. There's a very nice wash on the base, but it is hollow underneath. I kind of would have preferred a little bit of weight at the base to support the Screech figure a little bit more. The wings look fantastic. The sculpt is amazing. Paint application is amazing. Love that wash on there. This looks really good. Really, really, really good. Here's the other wing. Won't spend too much time on that. Here is the base with the waist grabber. And here is the base itself. It's similar in style to the other Masters of the Universe bases from Mondo, but it's hollow underneath. The Teela one actually had a solid structure underneath, so this is looks like a bit of a cost-cutting measure. It's a bit too glossy for my taste. I prefer the matte look. Here are the extra sets of hands that come with the figure. They look very similar to the Teela figure. They're a little chunky for my liking. I kind of wish there were some nails on it, but it is what it is. Here's the skirt. This looks like some really nice fabric, actually. And we've got some fringes at the bottom. Looks good. It looks pretty good. Here is the cape, which is a lot better than the skirt. It's a velvet on the back and a nylon underneath. This looks fairly high. Yeah, this is really nice. There's no wire in it, though, which is a bit of a shame. All right, so that's it for the accessories. So let's go ahead and get Screech all put together. Let's go ahead and get his wings on here. And it's a fairly tight fit on these peg holes, so that's good. So hopefully the peg should be able to support these wings, because these wings are fairly substantial. They've got a little bit of weight to them. Looks good. Looks all right. I kind of wish there were some folded up wings as an option to cut down on shelf space, but it is what it is. There are pegs on the Screech character and holes on the perch, so we can get a nice Screech on a perch. Again, I think I might put some weights on the bottom of this because it's a little too light for my taste, but it looks good overall. It looks really good. Now, as far as the head swap out, it's very easy. It's very quick and painless. It's not messy at all. All the portraits are very secure on the ball joint, and it's not too difficult to get off. I didn't even have to heat this figure up like I did with the Teela figure. That Teela figure, yeah, it was rough, let me tell you. The hand swap out is also very easy. All of the pegs fit in very nicely. I do like all the hand sculpts. It's very nice. Weapons are very easy to get into the character's hands. The gripping is pretty good. Not a lot of stress. You can actually just slip most of these staffs into the hands. There are some points where you're going to have to actually open up the gripping hands, but it's fairly easy. Again, I didn't have to warm it up. Here is the skirt, and it comes apart, so we can actually, let's just get this off the stand right here. So we can actually just wrap the skirt around the figure itself. We don't have to remove the top portion of this figure's torso, so that's fantastic. And then we can put the loincloth on top of the skirt. I don't know if I'm 100% on board with this look. I don't know. It feels a little cheap. I kind of wish the loincloth and the skirt were one piece altogether. But I don't know. It looks okay. If you get it right, and then get it right on your shelf, you should be okay though. Now, one pretty big issue that I did have with this figure was the cape. So the cape is supposed to go on these spikes. Holes right here, they go on the spikes, but it wasn't working out for me. So I went and got some cheap jewelry pieces and put together my own chain link magnetic cape clasp. Now, I'm fully willing to admit that this just might be a skill issue with me as far as this cape, but it just wasn't working out for me with those spikes, so I had to do this. Both packages that I purchased were dirt cheap, so it wasn't an expensive fix. Just in case you do decide to do something similar on your own, and you really don't need tools. I mean, you can use tools if you want, but just as long as you have some steady hands, you should be okay. Now, this first attempt was a little too short for my liking, so I decided to add another ring onto each side. And now we have this, which works out a lot better. So it can drape over her collar for a pretty secure fit. And you can actually move it around, so you can kind of like have it half draped, have it moving over. I'm kind of happy with this result. So, Mondo, I'm kind of glad that you had a cape that wasn't working out for me, so I could decide to be just, you know, ever so slightly creative. So let's go ahead and swap out this head for my preferred look. So now that we have the fully decked out Evil-Lyn, got the cape, we got the skirt, we've got the dagger, and we've got the short scepter. So we've got the fully Mondo-fied version of Evil-Lyn, and you know what? I think I'm not going to have it like this, because let me tell you, this skirt and loincloth combo is giving me hell. It's just not working out how I would prefer it. It just looks a little off. So yeah, probably not going to go with this look. I'll definitely keep the cape and the long scepter, but I think I'm going to ixnay on the skirt. But here you have it. Here is the Mondo version of Evil-Lyn with Screech for size comparison. And for another size comparison, here she is next to the previously released Teela figure. And there's actually a size difference. Evil-Lyn is actually a little bit taller than the Teela figure. Here's a better look at the differences in the body frames of these two figures, and it looks like there's not a lot of reuse. I was fully expecting there to be a lot of reuse of the Teela figure into this Evil-Lyn figure, and it looks like there's a lot of new sculpt. Like, the proportions are almost completely different. Even the peg holes, I was actually trying to swap out the hands between the two figures, and they are different size pegs. So it looks like Mondo really took the criticisms of this Teela figure to heart, because I think they just completely reimagined the buck for these female Masters of the Universe figures. And before we wrap up, here she is next to the Masterverse Evil-Lyn, which I also did a review for, which is an amazing figure. In that review, I said that the Masterverse version probably looked a little bit better than the Mondo version. I might have to rescind that. I really like this Mondo version. I like it a lot more than the initial promo pictures that I saw of it. In fact, I like both of these figures. I think they're both really good. I think Mondo greatly improved on the Teela figure that was released last year, I think. This figure is really nice. It's really good. I still have issue with the left ankle. It's still a little too loose. But even with that loose ankle, the figure is still actually pretty good as far as balance. The Teela figure, I can't even prop her up without the use of a stand. But this figure, I have no problems with it. Also, I think the soft goods are a bit of a miss for this figure as well. But the other accessories are really nice. I really like it. And I really like Screech too. That's a fantastic little figure that comes with this. The figure was definitely expensive, so whether or not you think it's worth the $200+ that you'd have to pay in order to get this figure, I leave it up to you. Honestly, I like the figure. I'm okay that I got it. I don't feel any buyer's remorse, which I kind of did with the Batman Beyond figure. It is sold out, but again, hopefully Mondo will release a stripped down version of this figure for a wider release. So I think that's going to wrap it up. I am Rip It Open with Newman on all the socials. Please like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. Hit the bell for notifications, and I will check you later.